What would you do if the person who fired you became connected to the one life you quietly helped? Every single day, today's powerful story follows Ethan Brooks, a single father who lost everything when a wealthy CEO suddenly fired him. Struggling to support his young daughter, Ethan still found time to help an elderly neighbor who had no one else to rely on. But one rainy evening, a shocking discovery at her front door changed his life forever and revealed a truth no one saw coming. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories. Now let's get started. Ethan Brooks parked his aging pickup truck in front of a modest grocery store in Cedar Grove, Texas, and checked the small list in his hand. Every dollar mattered now. Months earlier, he had been a respected project manager with a steady income and a promising future. Then, during a sudden restructuring led by CEO Victoria Hayes, he had lost his job without warning. Since then, life had become a daily challenge. Bills piled up on the kitchen counter, and every decision required careful budgeting. Still, Ethan never allowed his struggles to affect the way he treated others, especially his 8-year-old daughter Lily, who depended on him for strength and stability. After purchasing a few essentials, Ethan drove home and unloaded the groceries. Lily greeted him with a cheerful smile and immediately began helping him put things away. Their small house was far from luxurious, but it was filled with warmth and love. As evening approached, Ethan glanced through the window toward the neighboring property, where Mrs. Eleanor Parker lived alone. The elderly woman rarely received visitors, and her age made everyday tasks increasingly difficult. While many people in the neighborhood barely acknowledged her presence, Ethan had made it a habit to check on her every day, carrying 2 grocery bags filled with fresh food. Ethan walked across the yard to Mrs. Parker's house. He knocked gently before entering. The elderly woman smiled the moment she saw him. Ethan placed the groceries on her kitchen table and asked how she was feeling. After listening carefully to her concerns, he noticed a section of her backyard fence had started to lean after a recent storm. Without hesitation, he grabbed his tools and spent the next hour repairing it. As the sun began to set, he mowed her overgrown lawn and cleared fallen branches from the yard. By the time Ethan finished, sweat covered his forehead and exhaustion weighed on his shoulders. Yet seeing Mrs. Parker's grateful smile made every effort worthwhile. Despite losing his job and facing uncertainty himself, Ethan remained committed to helping someone who needed him even more. A cold rain fell steadily over Cedar Grove as dark clouds covered the evening sky. Ethan had just finished cleaning the dinner dishes when he noticed something unusual. Mrs. Parker's porch light, which always turned on before sunset, remained dark. Concern crept into his mind. He tried calling her phone, but there was no answer. He waited a few minutes and called again. Still nothing. Knowing her routine well, Ethan felt a growing sense of worry. Mrs. Parker never ignored his calls, especially after he had checked on her every day for months. Pulling on his jacket, Ethan hurried through the rain toward her house. Water splashed beneath his boots as he climbed the porch steps and knocked firmly on the door. There was no response. He knocked again, louder this time. His heart began to race as he imagined that something might have happened to the elderly woman. Just as he reached for his phone to call for help, the door slowly opened. Ethan froze instantly. Standing in the doorway was Victoria Hayes. The powerful CEO who had fired him months earlier stared back with equal surprise. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. Rain dripped from Ethan's jacket while confusion filled the silence between them. "Ethan," Victoria finally said, clearly shocked. "What are you doing here?" Ethan asked before Victoria could answer. Mrs. Parker appeared behind her with a warm smile. "Oh, Ethan, I'm sorry my phone battery died." Relief washed over him immediately. Mrs. Parker then explained that Victoria was her granddaughter. Victoria had arrived unexpectedly a few days earlier after learning that her grandmother had been struggling alone. During her visit, Mrs. Parker had spoken constantly about Ethan's kindness, describing how he brought groceries, repaired things around the house, and checked on her every day without ever asking for anything. Victoria looked at Ethan differently now. The man she had once viewed as just another employee stood before her as someone whose character spoke louder than any resume. For the first time since firing him, she realized she had made a serious mistake.